Do you often use green onions in your cooking? In my family, green onions are one of those herbs we just can't do without. But there's one problem I'm sure many of you have run into. You buy a fresh bunch, and before you can use it all, it's already wilted, limp, or even soggy. Sometimes after just one day. Not only is that a waste, but it also makes cooking a hassle, especially if you can't get to the store or market often. Don't worry. Today I'm going to share 6 super simple tips for keeping green onions fresh, crisp, and full of flavor, so you can use them for days or even up to a year without losing any of that great taste. Let's get started. First, you'll need a clean, empty plastic bottle. If you have a lot of green onions, feel free to use a larger container or jar depending on your needs. Next, cut off the top of the plastic bottle, about 2 to 3 inches, 5 to 7 centimeters, so it fits the length of your green onion stalks. By the way, I've added subtitles in several languages. Please select your preferred language and let me know in the comments which country you're watching from. Now, add a small amount of sugar into the bottle. This helps stimulate root growth and supports healthier green onions. Then, place the green onions into the bottle just like you would arrange a bouquet of flowers. Pour in just enough water to cover the roots. Be sure not to let the water reach the leaves. Place the bottle somewhere that gets sunlight. Change the water every 3 to 4 days to keep the onions fresh and prevent rotting. This method allows the green onions to keep absorbing water, so they stay fresh, crisp, and green without wilting or turning yellow. Whenever you cook, just pick the exact amount you need. Very convenient. Try this method right away. It's very simple but useful. Don't skip this second tip. To start, you'll need a large basin or bowl of water. Add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Use your hand to stir until the baking soda is fully dissolved. Then soak all of your green onions in the water for about 7 to 10 minutes. Soaking them in baking soda helps clean off dirt and removes most of the leftover chemicals. Next, rinse the green onions 1 to 2 more times with clean water to fully wash away any remaining residue. Then, take them out and place them in a colander to drain. You can also gently pat them dry with a paper towel. What's important here is that the green onions must be completely dry before storing. Any leftover moisture will make them spoil faster. Now, divide the green onions into small portions, just enough for one use each time you cook. Wrap each portion in plastic wrap. Wrap it tightly enough to keep air out, but not so tight that it crushes the leaves. Also, make sure the wrapping is sealed well to keep out air. Be careful not to bend or fold the green onion stalks when wrapping them, as that can shorten their shelf life. Finally, place the wrapped portions into the vegetable drawer of your refrigerator. With this method, your green onions can stay fresh for up to a month, still crisp, flavorful, and green. When you need some, just take a portion out. They'll look as fresh as the day you bought them. Next up is tip 3. Once your green onions have been washed and thoroughly dried, place them on a cutting board and chop them into small pieces, whatever size you usually use for your everyday cooking or specific dishes. Pre-cutting them like this makes it much easier to grab just the amount you need without having to prep them again every time. After you've chopped the green onions, put them all into a large mixing bowl. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, then toss everything together so the oil coats the green onions evenly. Next, take an ice cube tray and spoon the oiled green onions into each compartment, filling them one by one until you've used them all up. Once you're done, Simply place the tray into the freezer. With this method, you'll have handy green onion cubes that are ready to use anytime. It's a real time saver and helps preserve the freshness and flavor of the onions. Let's move on to tip 4. Just like in the previous tip, start by finely chopping your green onions. Next, get 1 or 2 zip-top freezer bags and gently place all the chopped green onions inside. Be careful not to crush them. The fresh smell of chopped green onions is so pleasant, isn't it? Prepping them like this ahead of time will save you a lot of time when cooking, especially in the mornings or during those busy moments. Now, use a straw to suck out as much air from the bag as possible. Once that's done, seal the bag and place it in the freezer for longer storage. Some people worry that freezing might take away the flavor of green onions, but that's actually not the case. This method keeps almost all of their original freshness and flavor. When you're ready to use them, just take out the amount you need and toss it straight into your pot while cooking. No need to thaw them first. Thawing can make the onions soft and lessen their flavor. You definitely need to know this tip 5. Next, cut off the root part of the scallions, about 5 to 7 centimeters, but don't throw them away just yet. Keep watching until the end because I'll show you how to make good use of them. Then prepare clean paper towels. Take a small bunch corresponding to the amount needed for each cooking session and wrap each portion with a paper towel. As you wrap, do it gently. The towel should hug the green onions snugly, but not too tightly so you don't crush the stems. Once you've finished wrapping, place each roll of green onions into an airtight food storage container to keep out dust and bacteria. Next, seal the lid tightly and store the container in the refrigerator, specifically in the main fridge compartment, not the freezer. Pick a spot that's dry and not too humid to avoid mold or soggy onions. The dry paper towel will help absorb any extra moisture, keeping the onions dry and protected. This way, they won't get bruised, discolored, or start to rot. Now for the final tip, you need to prepare a tool to grow scallions. The simplest way is to use a used plastic bottle, as long as it can hold water. Cut the bottle in half so that the mouth of the bottle is about 4 to 5 centimeters from the cut. Once prepared, gently place the scallion root into the mouth of the bottle, letting the roots pass through the hole without breaking. Then pour water into the bottom part of the bottle so that the water level just covers the roots, but does not touch the stem. This is very important to avoid the plant getting waterlogged. Next, place the bottle in a spot with natural light such as a windowsill, balcony, or rooftop. After about 20 days, the scallions will grow tall and green. At this point, you can trim them for gradual use, and they will continue to grow. This method is not only simple, but also helps you regrow scallions many times from the same root, both economical and environmentally friendly. So there you have it, 6 simple but incredibly effective tips for storing green onions. Each method has its own unique benefits, and they'll all help you keep your green onions fresh, flavorful, and ready to use in your favorite dishes. If you have any other helpful tips of your own, don't hesitate to share them in the comments. I'd love to learn from you too. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.